Welcome to Houston Home Talk, featuring all things real estate in the Houston area. We'll interview real estate professionals, local business owners, and special guests from right here in the Houston community. This is where you get the inside scoop about what's new in real estate, new community openings, and business openings, and much more. The Houston Home Talk Show starts right now.
What's up, guys? It's James J back with another episode of Houston Home Talk. Today, we are talking about option periods. Yes, option periods. This is as it relates to a purchase agreement. That is you purchasing a resale home. You typically don't have an option period when you're buying new construction. I don't know of any builder who would allow you to have an option period when you're purchasing new construction. So I am specifically talking about resale. So option periods are something that is negotiated between a buyer and a seller, but it is a very, very important clause in a residential contract. What do you need it for? Well, when you're purchasing resale, you don't really know what's going on with the property unless you are a inspector yourself or you're in construction. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in a home that you just can't see with the naked eye. So you want to hire an inspector to go out to the property, do a full inspection on the property from top to bottom, so you know if there's any issues that you or your realtor or your family members or whoever have seen this home have not been able to identify. You do that during the option period. So an option period is typically anywhere from 7 days to 10 days, depending on the situation. So if you're buying maybe a multi-family property, for example, 4 units, 5 units, 6 units, an inspection is going to be a little more lengthy. So in a situation like that, you may want to have a longer option period. So 14 days may be something that you negotiate with the seller. But again, all these numbers are negotiable. All right. The seller's not obligated to do a specific number. It's completely negotiable. Now, I will tell you from a position of strength, and this is you as the buyer, if you're competing with someone else on a property, one way you may be able to have the seller go with your offer versus another offer is to offer a shorter option period with more option money. So what does that mean? Typically, option money is $10 a day. So if you want a 7-day option period, you're probably going to be looking at about $70 to pay the seller to have that option period. $10 a day. If you wanted, 10 days, you may be looking at $10 a day, which is $100. Again, all negotiable. But if you really are in competition for a home, you may offer the seller, say, 3-day option period with maybe a $500 option money. That is how you get noticed when you're negotiating against someone else. Because this is not something that most people are willing to do. Because what happens with that option money is it goes away if you decide you don't want to purchase the property after getting it under contract. So let's go through this real quick. You make an offer on a home, you get the home under contract, you have signed, the seller has signed, the home is now in escrow at the title company, and the option period has begun. Just say you opted for a 7-day option period for $70. You get an inspection done on the home, you find a bunch of items from the inspection report that either one, you don't like or don't want to deal with, and so you decide you want to back out. 2, you and the seller can't negotiate to get either a lower price to offset what expenses are going to come with the repairs, the seller's not willing to fix any of the items, or maybe the seller is willing to fix some of the items but not all. Either way, during that option period, you have the right to walk away for whatever reason you choose. It does not matter what your reason is. You could have woke up on the wrong side of the bed and said, you know what? I don't want the house. Doesn't matter. Okay, as long as you're doing it during that option period, you can walk away. But when you do that, you forego that option money. So walking away from $100, probably not that big of a deal. But if you're in competition for a home and you decide to get outside of the box and say, you know what, I really want this home. I want this offer to be accepted by the seller instead of the other 2 or 3 offers that they're getting. You really want to get a seller to take notice. Do a shorter option period and offer them much more money than they're typically used to seeing. So you might do a 5-day option period and give them $100 a day. That gets noticed. And most realtors don't do that. But depending on the situation and where you're located, you might be in a situation where you need to get creative with your offer to have the seller take notice. But just keep in mind, if you decide to walk away during the option period, you lose the option money. But it might be much better foregoing $100 or $500 versus you walking into a situation with the home that becomes a money pit down the road. So that is a general overview of option periods. Definitely something you want to have, guys. I just feel like there's no situation where you don't want to protect yourself some kind of way, unless you are an inspector or you're in construction and you're just willing to deal with whatever issues come along with the property that you're looking at purchasing. So that's it for now on option periods, guys. We've got a lot of other topics coming up here pretty soon, but this is one that I have been dealing with quite a bit this last few weeks. Lots of buyers making lots of offers, and a lot of cases when the home is in great condition, it's clean, it's well kept, we end up in a multiple offer situation. This is a way to get the seller to take notice. So I will talk with you guys on the next episode. Look forward to talking to you soon.